Hello, 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 everyone. This is Adelaide Brown. This is Adelaide Brown, your heart coach with Be Blessed Daily. And hello, thank you all so much for joining in. And today is day 3 of our Anchored in the Process not challenge, but our Anchored in the Process series. And I thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you so much. And for the last 2 days, I've been reading excerpts from my new book, Anchored, Be Blessed Daily, Volume 1. And I've been going over some steps in the process. And going through life, and when we learn and grow, there is always a process. A lot of times, living in the society we live in now, it's a microwave society. So we want to get things fast. And a lot of times we get things fast, but they're not the quality that we would like, nor the quantity that we would like. So I like to think about life in terms of trusting the process. And for the past 2 days, today's day 3, I've been talking about steps in the process. Hello, Lash Cat. Thank you so much for joining in to our Heart Scope today. So today is day 3. And day 3 and step 3 in the process is acceptance. Day 1, number 1 in the process is connection. We have to be connected. No matter what you're going to do in life, you have to be connected to your source, to your creator, whoever. Thank you, dear. Who I believe in Jesus Christ. That's my savior. I believe in God. I believe that there's a greater creator. And because of that, I'm still here. I know that had I not known that that was true, I would have been dead a long time ago, be it suicide or homicide. Whatever it is, I know I would have been gone by now. And hello, Miss J. Thanks for coming in. And because of that, I understand the importance of having a connection. It's like trying to build a house without a foundation. It won't stand. So before you try to build your life, build your success, build your relationships, try to get, letters and numbers behind your name, make sure that you're connected. Don't go out there trying to do things on your own when you have a creator who created you for a purpose. So seek your creator. So that's step 1. Step 2 is awareness. We have to have knowledge of, we have to be alert to some things. See, once we're connected, it opens the lines of communication. And what does that mean? That means that now we can be aware of the things that were flying under the radar before. You may, every time you get paid on Friday, you may, always go to the mall and buy yourself a new pair of shoes. But then you complain for 5 years about why you can't buy a house. Well, once you become aware that behavior could possibly be something that, is hindering you from being able to get your home, now you can start to work towards fixing that or remedying that. And that's how we end up at day 3. Thank you so much for inviting your followers. Thank you. So day 3, we're talking about acceptance. So you're connected. Now you've become aware of some things you do. You may be in a relationship with someone and you consider it encouragement, but you're always suggesting things that they can do, ways they can be better at something. And when they hear it, they're hearing criticism. They are not hearing encouragement. And so once we become aware of something like that, even if you know in your heart you don't mean it for ill, you have to accept, that's how we end up at day 3 today. You have to accept that is an issue and you need to fix that. You need to make sure that the way you're coming across is correct. Now, I understand that we cannot control, how people take us. But let's be honest. There are people in our lives, especially those that are close to us, that we can see their faults. We can see all of the things that they need to do wrong. And if they would just listen to us, life would be so much better. But when we take a step back and actually accept the fact that, I have a problem too. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I do, contribute to this issue. I would like to blame this all on you, but if I really want to fix this problem, if I really want my life to be better, I'm going to have to accept my mess. And that's what the title is alluding to. I have to accept my mess. I was talking to you guys on yesterday about my own personal situation in my marriage. I am encouraging, I'm a motivator, I'm inspirational, and I do that naturally. That's not something that I have to drum up. That's not something that I have to get from others. It just comes out of me. But in doing that, when I'm close to people and I'm doing that, they're not always getting inspiration, encouragement, enlightenment. They're getting judgment, criticism, and things like that. So I have to be careful. And, one time my husband, brought that to my attention. And at first I was very defensive. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, all I'm trying to do is encourage you and whatever the case may be. And then I took a step back, going back to step one. I went back and I prayed and I meditated. I had to reestablish that connection. I had to go back and, connection, open the line of communication. That's another definition of connection. So I had to go back to God and say, you know what is there some truth to this? Because I guess deep down inside my heart knew it was, but I had to ask. And the Bible tells us, if we ask, we shall receive. If we seek, we shall find. If you guys are feeling me, let me see some hearts. Let me see you tap the screen. I just want to make sure you guys are there with me. Thank you guys. I love the hearts on our heart scope. But so when I went back to that connection, God brought some things to my memory. He made me aware of some things that, because I did it and I wasn't thinking much about it, He made me aware of some things that I did. And like I said, I didn't think much about it. But after I look back at it, I could see how that would be considered criticism. Instead of, like, if I ask Him to do something and He does it, just to give you guys an example, but He doesn't do it the way I think He should do it, I would like to, gently encourage Him to do it a certain way. But what I've come to realize is it doesn't matter how it's done as long as it gets done. If you ask someone to do something, you can't also tell them how to do it. If you give someone a gift, you can't also tell them when and how to use that gift. So always accept your place in it. So I had to take a step back. That's true. Yes, exactly. So I had to take a step back and say, you know what? I'm going to accept this. I'm not going to reject it, because, see, let me just be a little vulnerable here with you guys. I have been very sensitive, very insecure, so that would make you very sensitive. People who are not open to criticism, constructive criticism, or just open to any form of rejection, it's because in some way, shape, or form, they are really deeply insecure about some things in their lives. So they're very fragile and they shatter easily, when people say things to them that aren't encouraging, that aren't, motivating or enlightening them. And even then, sometimes they can't take it. So, for me to take a step back and say, well, I'm just trying to be positive and I'm just trying to encourage you, and, you're just criticizing me. Once I accepted my place in it, once I realized that it really wasn't all about me, I could say, you know what? Yeah, you just didn't do it my way. So I found a problem with that, because I needed you to get on board with me. I needed you to agree with me, and sometimes I've gone through that even, in situations with my children. And a lot of that for me comes back to the fact that I have always wrestled with this issue of being validated. And now that I'm in this TC3 program, 30K in 30 days, I've just joined this coaching program. We're having coaching every day for 30 days, and the outcome is expected. If you do what is asked of you, then you can make the $30,000 or more, or at least get close to reaching that. So being in this program, and excuse me guys, I washed my hair and I have some water draining down my head. But being in this program is forcing me, and I really love it. I mean, you guys can check it out. Hashtag 30K 30 days. You can check it out. They're still doing registration, but I'll tell you, it's really been something eye-opening, because even after stepping out on faith and quitting my job, after publishing my book and, building my business and things like that, I realized that I have so many blocks and things in my mindset that have to change. These are things that I've realized over the last few months. So this acceptance step has been a brutal but honest and relieving one for me. It's also been very revealing, because I'm realizing that in order for me to go high, I have to dig really low. And I don't know about you. I don't know where you are in your life, and I don't know what you're trying to do. But if you're on this scope right now, there are things in your life that you want to do. You have goals you want to achieve. You have things that you're trying to overcome. And I just want to let you know that you can't push that past hurt and that past pain out of the way and just say, I'm just going to move on. No, you shouldn't dwell on it. But you need to confront those negative thoughts that are in your head telling you why you can't do it, why you're not smart enough, your mom wasn't there, or your dad wasn't there, or nobody ever appreciated you. They love your sister more than they loved you, or your brother was the favorite and you weren't, or you didn't do good in school, or whatever the case may be. You may have been raped, you may have been molested, you may have been violated in some way. You may have had to go to jail and spend time because someone told a lie on you that wasn't true. But whatever that is, whatever defense mechanism you came up with to help you cope with that, you have to overcome that. Because see, over the years, we build up defense mechanisms. And what these defense mechanisms do, we think that they're protecting us from being hurt, but they're also hindering us from being blessed. They're hindering us from being loved. Because when you have a guard up, nothing can go out, neither can anything come in. So we wonder why, I don't have success in relationships, and I don't have success in my finances, and I don't have success, with my children, or I'm just not having success in my health. What are you holding on to? Are you holding on to unforgiveness? Are you holding on to lack and poverty? Have you told yourself something about yourself now that you won't even go back and reevaluate? You're telling yourself, the first thing I hear, anything someone wants to do, you want to start a business, you want to get a house, you want to travel the world. The first thing I always hear is, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. And I can definitely say this because that was my line. But I realized that became a mantra. That became an affirmation for me. So because I kept saying it, guess what? The universe kept giving that back to me. I think it was Lisa Nichols or someone I heard say, everything that you say, Hot Fudge is here with me. She's driving. She sends, oh, thank you. And I send my love to you and Hot Fudge. Thank you so much. And I thank you guys for coming on. But, and just you ladies, tell me what you think. I mean, this is what she said. She said, everything that you say is like placing an order to the universe. So think about going to a restaurant. Well, you don't order chicken and expect to get fish. Right? When you order chicken, you're expecting to get chicken. When you order some sweet tea, I'm from the South. Some of you may or may not be from the South. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, so we drink sweet tea. I don't know about any other type of tea but sweet tea. But anyways, if I order sweet tea and the waitress brings me, water or lemonade or Sprite, I don't drink soda like that. So if she brings me Sprite, I'm like, what are you doing? That's not the order I place. So when we say, I want to be rich and I want to have a lot of money, but all you're ever saying is I'm broke and I can't do that because I don't have this and I don't have that. That's the order that you placed. Whatever came out of your mouth, whatever you attach emotion to, when you think about, a bill that might need to be paid and you don't have the money and that little knot that wells up in your stomach, you emotionally attach to that. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to keep receiving that. That's an order you keep placing. You're going to keep receiving it. But if you can get a vision in your mind, you can start speaking some things. I am powerful. I am wonderful. I am valuable. I am successful. I am healthy. I am wealthy. Money comes easily to me at all times. I am enough. Yes, I get paid to be myself. Why not say things like that when you get the past due bill balance? When you get the cutoff notice, why not saying I'm blessed and highly favored? Why not look at it and say paid in full and start to imagine how it's going to feel when you go online and pay that bill and it says a zero balance, or when you walk into that office and you pay it and it has a zero balance. That's what you want to attach to. That feels good. But see, the world that we live in, it says, I'll believe it when I see it. But faith says, I believe it, so there I will see it. Exactly, Lash Cat. I am worthy. Yes, I am worthy. I am worthy of health. I am worthy of wealth. I am worthy of happiness. I am worthy of peace. What are you guys worthy of? These are the things that we have to focus on. I have been pondering my past, and many stories have been coming up. I focus on certain things, but I have reconnected with some people from my past in the last few weeks, and I realized how much of a mess I really was. I am a reformed mess, and that's why I'm telling you, acceptance. Thank you so much, Pop CP. Thanks for coming in. Acceptance has been the world for me. Why? Because it was the wake-up call. It was the slap in the face. It's like my hand is caught in a cookie jar, and I cannot blame it on my cousin or my friend that's next to me. I have to own it. I'm looking at these situations that keep taking place in my life. I'm looking at this bank account, and it's not the way I want it to look. I'm looking at my children, and that might not be the way I want it to look. I'm looking at my marriage. Face it forward, hon. You talking about the camera? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at, I don't know what are you talking about? Face it forward. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. But I had to accept that the things that I'm seeing in my life, if I don't like, yes, exactly. Thank you. Well, the reason why, let me just go back on that. I'm glad you said that. The reason why it was brought up to me, because what's happening is there are blocks that I put up along the way in that journey, right? On this journey to be where I am, there were certain little roadblocks, and I don't necessarily consider them blocks. I like to think about them as a snag, because you can move on. You can be way ahead, but something attached to you can be caught up in the snag. And I like to think about, my friend just got married, and she had a beautiful gown, and it had a beautiful train behind it. And God gave me this vision of, you need to heal your past, because if she was walking down that aisle and there were sharp things that could cause problems, things that could attach to her along the way, she would never have been able to get to the front, to get to her groom, to do what she came there to do, because her dress was going to get her caught up along the way. So I like to tell people, no, I don't want you to dwell on your past, and I don't want you to just focus on your past, but I like to be honest about the fact that experience isn't always the best teacher. And some of the things you learned in your past that you use now and you live by, those things aren't helping us. For example, if you've had bad relationships with men in the past, then experience may have taught you that all men are dogs or men are no good. So then because of that, even though you have an innate desire to be with someone, guess what? Subconsciously, there's a snag way back when you were 19, 20 years old. You might be 40. Yes, minor bumps in the road. But see, some people really aren't strong enough to get over those. Some people don't have enough fuel or force to get over those, or to kind of polish down those snags. And some people don't realize what they are. A lot of us, we value our independence and don't realize that sometimes the independence can be a hindrance to us. Some of us are too independent for our own good. See, that's where acceptance comes in. That's why I had to come and accept that. I was so independent that I was willing to let any and everything go in my life, because nothing was going to stop me from being me. And what I realized was, I wasn't even being me. I was being this me that I had created along the years, that I thought, I thought I had to be, doing things that I thought I had to do to protect myself, because, I got to do this because nobody else is going to do this for me. So I built up this defense, and, I'm still nice. I'm still encouraging people. I'm still going to church. I'm going to Bible study, teaching Sunday school, and I'm doing all of that. But I'm still not so willing to let you get so close to me. But it's a undercover thing. It's nothing you would know on the surface. There you go. Strong with a chip. I love it. Exactly. I'm just being honest. Remember, this is a heart check. And exactly, I love it. Strong with a chip. I love it. And if you ladies are feeling me, give me some hearts. Give me some heart love. This is Heart Talk on our Heart Scope. And I thank you so much for the hearts. And so, we're talking about acceptance, just getting back to what I was talking about with that. So when we talk about, the past is the past and leave it there, that is true. But there are some of us, like I know, being an African American woman, I know many black people who feel inferior just because they're black. They say things, well, I'm black, so good things can't happen for me. I mean, that's their own feeling. Now, don't get me wrong. I know everyone doesn't feel like that, because I don't. But a lot of people feel that way, and many aren't brave enough to admit it. And I really believe that my gift in life is to stir up and to provoke some thought, because many people on the surface will say, oh, I don't have a problem with that. I am fine. I am good. But if they really go and sit back and ponder it, no, they have a big issue with it. But they've covered it up for so many years. They've made themselves believe something that wasn't true. They believe a lie. They have come to believe a lie over these years, and it wasn't even intentional. Yes, they have believed a lie. Exactly. And it's not The truth. You know, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. Anytime you think that I can't do it, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Exactly. It's a lie, lie, lie. So that is what I had to realize. Like I realized over the years, because I'm looking through the frame, I couldn't see what people were seeing in the frame. So I grew to admire others, even envy some, even idolize some. What I've grown to learn now is what I was loving and admiring and idolizing in them was because it reminded me of something about myself. But I never took the time to really look closely at myself because I didn't value myself. You know, and so when I did look at myself, all I did was look with judgment and criticism instead of looking with compassion and looking to observe. And then going back to step one, going back to my connection with God and saying, okay, Lord, can you show me how you see me? See, that's when I came to accept those things. See, I thought I was strong and I thought I was over my past and I thought I had gotten over those things. And I just couldn't understand why I couldn't get a certain place in my professional life. I couldn't get a certain place in certain areas of my personal life. But it all had to do with not overcoming those lies that I told myself from the past. So I encourage you ladies, accept where you are in life. I'm not saying accept it and stay there, but I'm saying accept it so that you know where you're going from, where you're going to go from this place. Think about trying to get directions if you're lost. When you tap into the GPS, when you're putting the direction that you want to go, they always want to know your location. Okay? When you can accept where you are in life, that's when you can establish a location. How can I tell you where to go if I don't know where you are? Has anyone ever called you for directions? And what's the first thing you say? Well, tell me where you are now. Because depending on where they are, that's how you're going to instruct them where they can go. So acceptance allows you to say, look, this is where I am. Now, God, going back to step one, where would you like for me to go? Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about acceptance. And I'm reading excerpts from Anchored. I'm getting ready to read day 125. And Anchored, my book Anchored, is definitely a testament to a dream coming true. If you didn't believe in yourself, if you thought you had been too messed up, too bad, too banged up, you have just done too much wrong, that just can't happen to you, look at this chick here, Addie, this chick right here that you're looking at, and remember that you can do it. I'm promising you that you can do it. You know, because when I started putting this book together, it started off as a single text message that I sent to encourage a friend. And when I sent it to her back in 2006, I felt like, wow, well, I sent that to her, but I can send that to my other friend. And it ended up that I sent it to everyone in my call list. So at first, I think I sent it to maybe around 50-something people that I had on my call log. And that grew from 2006 to I just recently stopped sending out my text messages, and I was sending my text to over 350 people for about 9 years. Just inspirational text messages. And people would tell me, you need to write a book, or you need to get a editorial, you need to do something in the newspaper. I mean, you need to stop blogging on this, you need to do something in this. And I believe them. I believe that all of those things were really good suggestions, but I just didn't believe in myself. So I dragged my feet. I said, well, I can't afford to be an author. And, you know, I'm not good at writing, and I'm not good at this, and I'm not good at that. But what I realized was I always loved to write. But in my teen years, a few things that I wrote were rejected by those that I loved and I valued. And so I, in turn, rejected myself. I rejected my gift, and I'm not blaming them. I'm saying I made a conscious decision to shut out something that gives me life because I valued other people's opinion more than I valued my own about myself. And see, when I say that, I have a lot of women say, well, I don't have that problem. Well, that might be your problem, but I don't have that problem. But then I can look at their life and look at their relationships and tell, no, you have that problem, but you're in denial. And until you can acknowledge that, guess what? Until you become aware of that, guess what? Until you're connected, you're going to stay in bondage. You're going to keep putting perfume on funk. You know, you're going to keep wrapping up a pretty box with nothing in it. And I was tired of that. I was tired of presenting a smile with tears behind it. I was tired of, presenting I'm okay knowing I'm dying inside. So I had to commit to this book. That was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because I had to commit to myself. Now, I could commit to my employers. I was always like the best employee. Any place I ever worked, I always, rose up through the ranks. Exactly. I always rose up through the ranks. I was good with certain people in my life. Not everyone, but certain people. I was good in school. I would do good in school, get really good grades in school. But when you talk about focusing on me, now I can do the work for other people, and I can do the work that other people give me. But when you tell me to take some time and zero in on myself, no, I want to tell you what's wrong with my mother, and I want to tell you what's wrong with my husband. I want to tell you what's wrong with my children. And I keep using them as examples because they're the people that are closest to me. I love being on Periscope and being able to connect with you all and talk with you all and get to know new people. I love the hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. This is Heartscope. This is Heart Talk with Adelaide. I got a reality check about that last. Exactly. So I share with them because I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You guys don't know me. I mean, I can get up in here and fake whatever, but they do. They live with me every day. So I really monitor, and I've been starting to observe how I interact with them. I've been starting to observe how I respond to them in relation to how I respond to other people, like my friends, or how I respond to, people in the business arena or in my faith when I go to church. Like, how do I treat those closest to me? I have been very cognizant of that lately, i.e. more aware, which has made me have to accept where I am. And this book made me have to accept the fact that God is calling me to do a purpose. God does not care that I don't feel worthy and I'm not valuing myself, because he knows the truth. And when I amp up and charge up my connection to him, then all of this foolishness will go away. But there is a process to that. That's trusting the process, and that's what I'm talking about now. And that's why acceptance is step 3 in the process, but it is so vital, because if you can't accept it, then you're going to be in denial. And if you can't tell me where you are, guess what? I can't tell you where you need to go. And that's God. If you're not willing to admit to God where you are, how can he help you? See, we'll get in these relationships and we'll invest in these things and do it off of impulse. Do it because it's a head thing, but not a heart thing. This book was a heart thing. Everything in my head told me, no, you can't do this. First of all, you're not good enough. Like, it's things in your life you need to get right. Authors don't, struggle like you do. Authors don't, go through the things that you go through. Authors don't have to deal with that. See, all of those were limiting beliefs. This little, stupid little, like, minor bumps, like you said, Popsy, see, like those stupid little things to just hold us back. But guess what? Until I address them, until I stop letting them run through my head and run rampant and wreak havoc on my existence, guess what? They didn't go away. So I had to start writing them down. I had to make affirmations that counteracted those things. Like we were talking earlier, I am worthy, I am healthy. I had to write a book and read it myself, not just tell others to read it, of daily inspiration and motivation. Just be anchored daily in what I'm doing. And I want the same thing for you. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys day 125 of Anchored. So I'm going to switch the camera around. So I'm going to read you guys day 125 of Anchored. And there are 367 days of motivation and inspiration. And just to be honest, the 367 actually came as a mistake at first, but there are no mistakes in God. So I say you have a whole entire year of inspiration plus that extra day to carry you over into the next day. So this is day 125, and I don't always read along with the day of the year, but I just decided to do it like this since I was going to be heart scoping about it. So it says, it's not all about you. Put purpose first, and God will put you first. When you close your hands, nothing can go out, nor can anything come in. Being a blessing is always in season. Be blessed. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that in reference to what we're talking about with acceptance? It's not all about you. Put purpose first, and God will put you first. When you close your hands, nothing can go out, nor can anything come in. Being a blessing is always in season. What you guys think about that? Let me get some feedback from you guys. Let me see some hearts. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you think about the book. If you already have a copy of it, let me know what you think. But it's not about you. We were talking about acceptance, and that's pretty much what acceptance is. Understanding your place in it and understanding that it's not all about you. And when you understand that, you can move on and do the things that you need to do. Put purpose first. Is your purpose first in life? Or is the way others view you first? Is that your first priority? Is your priority the reason why God brought you to this planet? Or is your priority making your parents happy? Or pursuing a goal that other people told you that you would be good at, but do you feel like you would be good at it? What is your priority? Is your priority making sure that people think a certain thing about you? Is your priority making sure that you live in the best house or drive the best car, but not a priority of taking care of yourself? Is being connected, taking time to meditate and pray and affirm yourself, is that a priority? Is your purpose a priority? Because the Bible tells us that when we take on, Jesus tells us that, come to me, all of you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He said, take my yoke upon you, because my burden is light and my yoke is easy. So are you trying to carry your own burden? Mine used to be what people thought of me, but I've fallen back slowly with that. Exactly. And I encourage you, Miss J, and I thank you for being honest and transparent and sharing that. And I really encourage you to use affirmations to counteract those thoughts. If you get those thoughts 1,000,000 times a day, say your affirmation 1,010,000 times. Miss J, BMG, me too. Yes, and you know what, guys? We say that in our head all the time, especially when we get frustrated, but it's meaning it in our heart. And I just want to give you guys a little suggestion about what has helped me so much with worrying about what other people have to say. So this is what I do now. When I am in a situation where I'm really worried about what someone else has to say, I stop. And instead of judging myself and feeling bad about something I know I shouldn't be doing, you know what I do? I say, you know what? Why is this bothering me? Why do I care about what so-and-so has to say? Yes. And you ladies, don't forget to heart me up if you're liking what I'm talking about. But yes. Why is this bothering me? What about this person or this situation is making me have so much anxiety, or I'm having so much, reservation about moving forward in this situation? Why does what this person say bother me so much? And let me tell you guys, just to kind of let you know what I found. I found that's how you have slowly been falling back. That question. It's a process. Thank you. Exactly, ladies. See, you guys been following along. I know I'm dealing with intelligent ladies. I don't have to worry about that. But I also know that you guys are in tune and you're connected. So what I realized, thank you, ladies, for the hearts. What I realized is the reason why I cared so much about what they had to say is because deep down inside, now this is a heart check, Miss J. Deep down inside, I kind of believe what they were saying. Deep down inside, when they said those negative things to me, I associated with that because I believe that about myself. So what I had to remedy and what I had to do was get to a place where I say, you know what? I have to start telling exactly. I have to start telling myself something. And you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, okay, the reason why I don't want to say this to you is because I know you're going to criticize me. Why do I care if you criticize me? Okay. You have to live your life and I have to live my life, and you're going to make a certain set of decisions, and so do I. And at the end of the day, when I get to heaven and God, and it's time for me to make it, an account for everything I've done. Yes, an affirmation for what? Worrying about what other people have to say. Okay. Well, I say things like, I say I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to protect. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to defend. I am prosperous. What was another one I used? I exist in complete abundance. I am more than enough. I am worthy. My opinion matters. I value my abilities. I believe I know that I am capable to succeed. Whatever it is that you can say to make you feel good, I hope that those help you. Everything in my life is working out for my good. All of those things are affirmations that you can say. If someone comes at you and tells you, that was horrible, that was awesome, you can say things like, I am connected to my creator. My purpose is purposeful. I am, I believe in myself. And then when you, and another thing too, no, hurting people hurt people. No one is going to hurt you unless they're hurting someplace in themselves. So I encourage you, don't internalize a lot of that stuff. We like to take it personal, especially as women. And like I said, that has been my biggest thing. I have been overcoming being judgmental and critical simply because that's how I am about myself. Yes. So, where I am right now is just like, you know what? Whatever. And you know what else, guys? I've been bracing myself and I'm just taking it. Because when people judge us and say mean things, it hurts. But it hurts even more when we suppress how we really feel just to value someone else's opinion even more than we value our own. For me, that hurts me. It hurts me to the core. It hurts my spirit that I don't believe enough in the spirit of God that is allowing me to breathe and live. But I would rather focus on what someone else has to say about me instead of listening to what God is saying about me. And that's why you got to read your word. Yes, I'm dimming my light. I'm not even letting it shine. And then I'm allowing the darkness to consume me. And I don't want you to do that. Remember that it's not all about you. When you remember that it's not all about you, even when your feelings are hurt, you can go forward because this is not about me. I'm going to focus on God's purpose for my life so that God can work things out in my life. Be selfish. Make it about you. But be selfish in a way where you're building yourself. Guess what? You can't give anything that you don't have. I'm sorry. It's the truth. I'm not sorry, but it's the truth. We want to give to people, and I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to offend you because I don't want to be offended. But you know what? Guess what? If you're hurting, sometimes you have to let them go. And if they hurt because they fall, guess what? That's a hurt that may encourage them to get up and stay up. Remember, let's accept where we are. Let's stay anchored in the process so we know that we have a connection. As long as you have step one, you have everything because you understand. See, God is always there. I like to say it's like the cell phone and the battery. Whether the battery is dead or not, the battery is still in there, but it's up to you to charge it up. See, the battery is already in with you and God. God is always there. But will you charge up your relationship? Will you spend time with him? Will you come and be intimate with him? A lot of us, we want a good man. We want someone to come in and take care of us. But you already have that. You have your creator. All you have to do is reestablish your connection. And then guess what? You will become aware of your surroundings. You may also become aware that you're lost. Once you can become aware that you're lost, then you get to where we are now. You can accept where you are. So guess what? He can find you. He can find you, and he can also take you to places that you've never been before. But will you let him? Will you make yourself available? Will you stay anchored no matter what? Even when the criticism hurts, it won't hurt more than you suppressing your true feelings to try to let someone else's light shine bright. All of our lights should shine bright together. Okay? You don't have to dim someone else's light for you to shine. Let's accept where we are. And when others don't want to accept it, this is what I've had to learn. I don't have to make you believe these things. I know, and I'm going to keep moving because I have accepted. And if that means I have to leave you behind, I love you. I trust God enough to know that if this is meant to be, we will be together in the end. We'll catch up along the way. Right now, we're on a different pace. So I don't know where you are in your life right now. Remember that it's not all about you. I'm going to read this to you one more time. It's day 125 of Anchored. It's not all about you. Put purpose first and God will put you first. When you close your hands, nothing can go out, nor can anything come in. Being a blessing is always in season. Be blessed. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for coming in. So this is something I wanted to say to you guys before we close out. We talked earlier about having those defense mechanisms up. And we originally created these defense mechanisms because we thought we were protecting ourselves. I'm not going to let anyone hurt me. I'm not going to ever let anyone in this space again, because if I do this, then I'm going to get hurt. And that might be not be what you're saying consciously, but a lot of times those are the thoughts that are going on subconsciously. We're usually saying things like, you got me twisted. I don't understand what's going on, or I'm never going to do that again, or I hate you. Leave me alone. Don't come back. But really what it is you hurt me. And I'm not going to let you do that again. So all I'm saying is, when you close your hands, nothing can go out, nor can anything come in. When you put up those defense mechanisms, love cannot go out correctly. It's distorted, and it can't come in properly. It's distorted, okay? You have a skewed reality of what's going on. You may think that you're being loved, but not on the level that you could be loved if you decided to let that guard down, to accept what's going on. Yes, I was wrong. Yes, I had a defense up. Yes, I was afraid. Yes, I was depressed at that time. Yes, I did, do this wrong. Yes, I did go to jail. Yes, I did have that abortion. Yes, I did cheat. Yes, I did steal. Whatever it is that you got to overcome, let's overcome it. Let's get over those blocks. Let's accept where we are. And just to read a quick definition to acceptance: to take or receive, to undertake the duties, responsibilities, or honors of. When you can accept where you are, accept where you're wrong, more so accept where you're right, guess what? Your life can start to take off. Your life, you will notice that, the things that were holding you back, the seeming holes in your pocket, you will notice that the more you accept where you are, make yourself available to God and continue to accept yourself, God will mend those holes, and you can start to see a more fulfilled, a more fulfilling life. So I want you all to be encouraged. I thank you all for going along this journey with me. Today is day 3. Don't forget to come back tomorrow. Remember to invite all of your followers. I thank you guys so much for the hearts. You can check me out if you want more heart talk, if you want more connection. And come on and join my Facebook page. If you go to my profile picture, you can click that link. It'll send you directly to my Facebook page. I want to hear from you. I want to connect with you. I want to see more from you. I want us to grow and learn together. If you have any situations going on in your life that you might want some feedback from and you might want my help, post it in the Facebook group or let me know. Let's grow together. Let's soar in our greatness. I want us to break through these glass ceilings, and I want you to do it with me. I want us to do it together. I want us to learn and grow together. So continue to join into these heart scopes and let me know what you're thinking. I want to get your feedback. I want to talk about things that you want to hear. My heart is full. I'm an open book. I want to share what I've been through in life so that, I can help others. I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to be here before my mother even conceived. The fact that I'm still here is a blessing, okay? A dream come true. So the fact that I even made it here, I guess I'm saying. So I encourage you, don't give up. Remember to stay connected. Your connection will bring about awareness. You can accept what you notice once you become aware, because we're going to talk about the other steps in the process, because we're going to soar. No. We are soaring, and we are going to continue to soar. And we're overcoming everything that may have held us back before. And I want us to be brutally honest about what's holding us back so that we can get over it and get to where we need to be. So God bless you all. I love you guys. Thank you for being anchored with me today. Day 3 in the process. Well, step 3 in the process. Day 125 in the book. If you want to get a copy of Anchored, you can order it through my website, beblesseddaily.com. Or you can get a copy of it through Amazon.com, but you won't be able to get a signed autographed copy through Amazon. So that is Anchored. I thank you, ladies, for spending this time with me. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. And remember to jump on this hump. Whatever you have to do, let's jump into our greatness. Be blessed.